Hi there, this is Alex Barker of the 66-Day Experiment, and you're listening to Chasing Dreams with Aimee J.
Welcome to Chasing Dreams podcast with Aimee J. Aimee believes that realizing a life without regrets is achieved by taking chances, chasing your dreams, making moves, and overcoming your doubts. The Chasing Dreams podcast will help you overcome life's obstacles, believe in your potential, and inspire you to face your fears. And now here's the woman who is passionately pursuing her dreams, Aimee J.
Hey Dream Chasers, this is Aimee J, and with me today is Alex Barker. Alex is a life alchemist at 66dayexperiment.com. He experiments on his life and business, like reading a book a day or seeking daily rejection. And so by day, he's a pharmacist. By night, a hero to his 2 daughters and wife. And by early morning, a business owner. So he is wearing multiple hats. I don't know how he juggles it. And his mission is to help men and women find a disciplined approach to success in life and business. So we instantly gravitated to each other. So join him at 66dayexperiment.com. And again, the links will be in the show notes to get a free course on how to make habits stick and beat procrastination. So Alex, hello.
Hey, Aimee, thanks for having me on your show.
You know, we only spoke, I want to say probably 2 minutes total at Podcast Movement, but instantaneously, I knew we had to do something.
Well, that's a good feeling to have when you first meet someone.
This is true. It could have gone the other way, right?
Yeah, I think we both had a few of those. There's always, some of those experiences. But
sure.
Yeah, it was great meeting you at Podcast Movement.
So Alex has this energy, guys, and it was apparent when I met him at Podcast Movement, where, a lot of the guests I met are from Podcast Movement, but they have a life outside of podcasting. And Alex had just this energy, and he took a picture with the sign. He's very encouraging of people who chase their dreams, which isn't surprising for someone who wants to help people succeed in life and business. And so we spoke initially. I sent everybody the picture that they took, and Alex is the only one who sent me a video response.
Yep, that sounds like me.
That was awesome. I've never gotten a video email. And all his email said was, "I made you a video." And I was like, what? And this is the kind of guy Alex is. He takes the time amongst his busy hat-wearing, flipping schedule. And I believe if I remember correctly, you recorded it while you were in the car.
Yeah, it's a pretty effective, I guess if you want to call it, connection tool. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this for probably years now. Someone made a video for me once. I think it was probably sent through maybe Facebook messaging. Someone's like, "Dude, I made a video for you because I listened to your show and you just made a huge difference in my life." And I was like, "What? A video?" Like, no one does that. And so I watched the video, and it's this guy telling me about, what he's done because he was listening to my first show, my first podcast, and I was like, oh my goodness, I love this. Not only, did it make me feel really good, but I realized, how easy it would be for me to do the same thing for other people. So that's pretty much what I do now on a daily basis. It's like a habit for me where I once a day shoot a video of myself just talking to someone or saying, "Hey, I was just thinking about you. Hope everything is doing well." And that's what I did for you that one day.
I feel very honored by it. And it was great. I still have the video. And it really, in a day and age where everyone's so quick to send a quick email or something like that, it went the extra mile. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad you like it. It worked.
It did. Now, for the dream chasers out there, they're probably wondering, hey, this is a guy who's doing so many things. Why did she bring him onto this show? Why don't you explain all these hats? Why do you have so many? Okay, naturally, I can understand the hat for your daughters and your wife. That's fantastic. Yeah. Way to choose the hero hat.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I like it.
You're welcome. But you're a pharmacist. You're a business owner. You're doing these 66-day experiments.
Yeah,
were
there's a
you
lot
bored?
there. Well, there's a lot there, and I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and like no one lives here, so I have a lot of time.
Ah.
No, that's not it. When basically when I graduated from pharmacy school, grad school, I had a deep inclination to do something bigger than just my day job. As much as I love teaching people and sharing my knowledge and helping people get healthy, because I don't have the typical pharmacist retail job. Like it's difficult to explain, but essentially I'm like a nurse practitioner or a PA, but I work with people on difficult medications.
Well, okay. So can we say, is it safe to say that you like your day job?
I like it. Yeah, there's definitely parts about it that I like.
Okay.
I'm definitely not the kind of guy who hates what he does. I know that motivates people to chase their dreams sometimes, is the hatred of what they face on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's a good thing. I mean, wouldn't you say so?
It is if you have that motivator, but apparently as you were an example, it's not always the case.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree that it's not. I don't think anyone should hate their job. There's always something good about our jobs, but I just found that I had a real inclination to do something more. And back in 2012, I started listening to podcasts because I had like a 2-hour commute every day. It was awful. My. Yeah, it was really bad. Some days it was like 3 hours. It was nasty. And that's when I dove into the world of podcasting, and me being the smart guy that I am, decided, hey, I could do this. So I started to make my own podcast. It later became the Leadership Dojo.
I like that name.
Yeah, I know. I still do.
I like that.
I still really like that name. That did really well. I got over like 40,000 downloads in the first 2 months from starting from nothing. I was a nobody then. Well, I still maybe am a nobody now. But
you're not a nobody.
Oh, come on. Let me self-deprecate myself on a public podcast.
All right, I'm going to give you like 2 seconds for that. Go ahead.
Well, anyways, so I did this podcast, and then I tried to basically try to make money online, right? I'm not sure what kind of connotation that may bring to you. Some people think, man, that's sleazy. People who do that are scumbags. Some people think, I don't know. I don't think it's possible.
Now, when you say money online, are we talking passive income or another type of online?
I would say that was my goal in the beginning.
Okay.
For sure. I definitely wanted to become that, a passive online person. And I have to say that I tried probably everything. I tried writing Amazon Kindle books. I created courses on Udemy. I created autoresponders that went to courses. I created niche websites, websites.
So this isn't for the lack of trying.
No, for sure it wasn't. Unfortunately, I mean, I made some money, but about a year and a half ago, I realized that I had the journey all wrong. I was chasing this journey that I was being fed by the people I was listening to, saying, you need to get passive income. You need to find a way to make something once and get paid for it over and over and over again.
It's a loud voice. It's
it's
a loud voice, especially today. Yeah.
Yes, it's very loud. But what I did instead, after realizing I tried all these things and nothing was sticking, I realized, you know what, I got to get some active income. I got to figure out what I need to do to, I guess, reverse the pyramid on its head and figure out, okay, if I start at the bottom and make active income, then maybe one day I can make passive.
Mm-hmm.
And since I think February of 2014, gosh, I should write these dates down. I pursued active income. And since then, I've been able to, as I was sharing with you earlier, a business that generates anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 a month based upon, maybe a couple hours a week.
That's impressive.
It is. But here's the thing, and I don't want anyone to come away from this interview and thinking, I can do what Alex did. And I have to encourage you to say, what I have created is extremely hard to build, and the opportunities are even harder to find. I don't want to, and at the same time, I don't want to discourage you from getting there. But what I want to encourage you to do is, if this is something you want to do, make money online, pay off debt, live the dream, is that you should start with active income. If you can start there, then you can figure out ways to do things passively. Like if you want to become a writer, you want to get paid to write, you shouldn't go create a course on how to write. You should be paid as a writer. And then once you get experience, then and grow an audience, then create something that could draw in passive income, like a course. Does that make sense?
No, it not only makes sense. I'm really glad you said it that way, because one thing, as dream chasers, it's very easy to get lost in the clouds. And I appreciate you not sugarcoating it and keeping it real, or 100, as some would say, because I think that's great advice. And what I actually want to hone in on, and what I liked about your story, is you tried, you made an attempt for passive income, so to speak. And then at some point you realized it's not working.
Yeah, it was not working in a bad way.
Yeah, but how many people will continue to do something that's not working and just keep beating a dead horse? And the fact that you took some time and was like, hey, let me reevaluate. I mean, would you say that reevaluation was a turning point?
Honestly, the real turning point for me from getting away from passive income was the birth of my second daughter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had realized how much time and effort I had spent on building up these so-called passive income streams, and nothing was coming. Maybe enough to make a car payment or a light bill, but it was a struggle, and I was putting so much time into building these passive income streams that they weren't generating anything worthwhile.
Right.
And so with the birth of my child, I had a lot of nighttime to think. And I realized in the middle of the night, I need to do something different. I can't keep pursuing this, because I was surrounding myself with people who were doing kind of the same thing, pursuing this dream of passive income online, and I was seeing what kind of results they were getting, and it wasn't very encouraging. The only encouragement I was getting was from like the people who were making millions or hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm thinking, oh, I can do that, I can get there. But I said, you know what, I want to do this faster, because I have a day job, I have a family, I only have maybe 2 solid hours a day to work on this. I need to figure out what I can do right now to make the most amount of money so I can get rid of my debt.
And that's a great thing that you took the time to figure that out, because a lot of people, we both know Pat Flynn and the success he has had, which
crazy
has been
success.
Right,
Yeah,
crazy,
awesome.
Out of this world. He's known for like the king of passive income, if you will. But not everybody will have that kind of success, and not everybody will work the way he worked. And we're not saying that passive income doesn't work. We're just saying you got to be honest with yourself if it's not working. I think
Totally agree with
that's
that.
the part. I mean, for you realize that, and realize that active income is a better use of your time.
Totally. It was a game changer. And, like I said before, I have a business that's doing really well. I'm doing a podcast. Things are going really well. Now it's just a matter of time before I can walk away from, I guess, anything that I want to do, whether it's my day job, if I decide to quit that, or my business, if I decide to quit that. Either way, I don't know. I don't know at what point that I'll quit either. I enjoy both. but a part of it is a journey, right?
Absolutely.
You kind of discover these things in a journey.
And I think that's an important point you make. It's not always the destination. It's how's that journey going?
Yeah, and sometimes it's not always the best, right? Sometimes, you know what? I'll be 100% honest with you, Aimee. I have been going through the resistance in the last 3 weeks. When I say resistance, do you know what I mean?
Depends. I have one perception in my mind, but are you? In what sense are you meaning?
By resistance, I mean like this. It comes. The term I'm referring to comes from Stephen Pressfield's "The War of Art." It's a book on my bookshelf. I'm actually holding it right now. And the resistance is something that is, it changes. It's invisible. It tells you to be fearful of success and at the same time be fearful of failure. It is criticism. It's self-doubt. It is difficult.
I didn't word it as beautifully as that, but I was going to go with doubt.
Yeah. That's what it is.
But I think it's all of those things. Wow. Okay. And
yeah,
so
I've been dealing with it
for 3 weeks though.
Sometimes it's not like a daily thing. I used to think that. My wife deals with depression and anxiety. And anxiety is getting really bad lately. And in the beginning, when we first got into our relationship, I turned on my man brain and just thought, okay, let's go out for a date. Let's go have fun. Let's go eat ice cream, go on a date, watch a movie. And in my brain, I thought, okay, tomorrow you'll be good. You won't have these problems anymore because I fixed them.
Because you went on the date.
Exactly. Why should you have these problems? I don't get it. And I really struggled with that idea of why can't I fix this now? And I'm realizing now that even as we fight for our financial freedom, there's going to be periods of time when you feel the resistance, the voices in your head that say your ideas are dumb, you're not helping anyone, you're not making enough money, you're not doing as well as that person. And I've felt all of those things in the last 3 weeks. Ever since I launched season 2 of my show, I have just been wallowing almost sometimes in my own defeat, and it's been grossing me out. I'm getting so sick of it.
So
go ahead.
It's interesting that you say that, and I'm not going to assume anything about your resistance, but so that people know, Alex does a show, the 66-day experiment that he has, and season 1 was 66 days of habits. Season 2, which he's talking about now, it's rejection. And what day are you on right now?
I think day 7 was just released.
So day 7 was released, but how many days have you gone through?
7.
Okay, so that's 7 days of rejection. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Because you're literally facing rejection day in and day out. Do you think that plays a part in this resistance you're feeling?
I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because I haven't been rejected every day.
Okay.
I just ask crazy questions. You'll have to listen to the show to find out what. But I think a part of it was not doing anything for a week, actually. I didn't work on my business at all. I didn't do anything. And I wanted to take a break, and I gave the excuse of, nah, you don't need to do anything. And ever since I took that week off, I've been fighting it. And it comes in the form of laziness.
Oh.
Some days I don't want to wake up. I have a habit normally. I'm getting, like this week I've been doing well, but I had the habit of waking up at 4:30 every day. And just for the last 3 weeks, like I've been telling you, I've been going through the resistance, and getting up has been the hardest thing.
I will say I know that feeling. Yes. No.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just letting it win and realizing that you're not going to win every day, and being okay with that. And that's not an easy thing to admit, that you are struggling. But that's where coaches are so powerful. I have a business coach, and he's been a huge encouragement during this time. And I have 2 masterminds, which are groups of people that are kind of on my same peer level, who inspire me and encourage me and push me to keep going through. And I also have a personal board of directors, and these are businessmen and women who have inspired me, and they push me, and they haven't invested time and money in my future, and they keep me accountable to what I'm doing. And those 3 groups of people, man, they're so important for me to have. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't be here today.
I think it's wonderful that you have those. I've heard nothing but great things about having a coach or being in a mastermind. I do have it's not a board. Well, I call them my brain trust. It's a group of individuals who,
yeah, that's a good word for it.
Who I go to for advice or suggestions, or who tell me straight up, hey, not now. You're doing enough. Focus on that. Keep going later.
Yep, I've heard that before.
Right? But for you, I think what I kind of want to highlight was that what you said about understanding that you're going to have this resistance, you're going to face it, you're not always going to win, but that it's okay.
That's hard to say. That's hard to admit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for a guy. I mean, I think it sounds like weakness. You know what I mean?
It absolutely is weakness, but that's the thing. It's okay to be weak. I mean, as long as you don't let it win every day. You know, and I think that's the distinction that has to be made. Saying it's okay doesn't mean you're saying it's always okay. And we're going to have these days where we fight. I mean, for me, similar to you, I used to wake up at 4:30 very easily for the longest time. And ever since I've made this move to Philadelphia, my rhythm has been thrown off. And I can't seem to get back into it no matter how early I put those alarms on. It's the
You know what my
thing.
secret is?
What's that?
I put my phone 15 feet away from my bed, so I have to get up.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to try that today.
It's honestly, it's what changed the game for me. Also, there's a pretty sweet app called Sleep Cycle, just on a side note. I'm not sure if you want to put that in the podcast or not, but
I do. Hey, there are other dream chasers suffering the same issue.
Yeah, Sleep Cycle is awesome. Basically, it kind of helps wake you up smoothly, but I love putting my phone 15 feet away because it gets me up and out of bed.
Okay.
Changes the mindset immediately.
Because you're up and out of bed.
Right.
Well, Alex, I love everything you're doing. I mean, because you're definitely not a boring person. You're not a guy that sits back. But
Well,
you're doing all these things. And I love that you're embracing it. Now, have you ever thought, and it seems like you're enjoying it, have you ever thought, outside of the resistance you're feeling, I'm going to try once more, have you ever thought, let me slow down, let me take some of this off my plate?
Yeah, and that's not my nature to think that, because when I was going after passive income, that was my mentality. What can I try next? What can I do? How can I try to make something better, different? And I, after my coach has pointed this out, he said, Alex, you take on way too much. You got to slow down. And so about once a month, I have a reminder that says review list. And what that means for me is that I have to look at everything that I've been doing, my writing, my podcasting interviews like this one, all the things that I'm doing, and then say to myself, okay, what is necessary and what is unnecessary, and what should I do more of and what should I do less of? And even if all these things that you hear me doing, like writing for big blogs or podcasting or my business, that you think, well, are they connected? How are these things connected? It's a long-term game, baby. It's just like what you're doing, Aimee. This podcast is about growing a community of people who believe in something bigger than themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I'm trying to do with my thing. I mean, I wouldn't come on my show if it wasn't about the bigger dream that I'm trying to build towards.
Yeah, and I think that's why I gravitated to you and wanted to have you on the show, because I think the aspect of what you do, the helping of others, and putting yourself out there, frankly, to do that is awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I like it.
Well, Alice, we're coming to that time of the show where we're going to have to play a game.
Okay. Yeah, you told me about this. I'm excited. I love games. I'm pretty competitive. Do I get to compete against you?
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
I will have you know I've only won twice out of 9, so you have, or 10, so you have a shot. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Okay, so the game is called Rapid Fire.
Okay.
And the way it works is I have a list of 3 topics for which you pick a number between 1 and 3, and we'll pick that topic. And the way it works is, say you choose, the topic ends up being sports. You and I are going to go back and forth naming different sports.
Oh
And the
my
first
gosh.
person to name a non-sport, hesitate, say repeat a previous answer
Yeah.
is out.
Okay.
Okay, and so
Oh my gosh, that's totally gonna be me.
this is the topics are random.
Okay.
They're not related to each other in any way.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
offline, I can tell you what the other 2 options are if you want.
Oh my goodness.
I don't say it online because I gotta recycle some of these categories that aren't used.
That's okay.
Okay, so 1 to 3.
2.
Oh man, pies.
Pies?
We're naming different pies.
Okay.
I'm Indian.
Anything that is classically considered a pie.
Yes, that you would find at a bakery or other food establishment.
Okay. Can they be things like pies?
If it's ever been referenced as a pie.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
Jeez, you would have to pick pies. I'm Indian. We don't do that many pies. Would you like to go first as my guest?
Sure.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Apple pie.
Cherry pie. Already? Already? Oh man, Alex, I think
I
it's
wasn't ready on that one. Let's do another topic.
all right. Fair enough, because that was the fastest. Okay, so
I can't believe that was totally me.
man,
I
I
stink at
had
those
hope for
games.
you there, man. Okay, so
Well, the funny thing is I thought of 5 examples, and then cherry pie was my next one, and I wanted to say something like you goober, because I'm really.
Oh, I say
competitive
that
and
too.
I'm a sore loser.
I say that too. Nice.
So let's.
I was hoping you weren't going to say key lime because that was my next one, and if you had, I didn't have an answer after that.
I can't believe I stink at these games, but let's do another one.
Okay, so the last 2 remaining. So pick between 1 and 2.
3.
Okay, so that's 2. TV networks.
Okay.
No turning on your TV.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
I'll go first if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay. ABC,
MTV,
CBS,
NBC,
A&E,
TV Land,
Sci-Fi,
Cartoon Network,
TLC,
Nickelodeon,
VH1,
Home and Improvement,
Fox,
FX,
HBO.
FXX.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Showtime,
Lifetime.
Cinemax.
Did you say HBO?
Yes.
Oh, crap. Sports Network.
Oh,
Oh, that's something?
Oprah,
Oh, ESPN.
CNN,
ESPN2.
MLB,
What's MLB?
Major League Baseball,
Oh, ESPN3.
TBS.
You got me. Had me a while ago.
You kept going with the 3s. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see. Is there really an ESPN3?
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
I knew there was a 2, but I was like, is there really a 3?
Yeah. No, these are fun games, but I stink at them. My wife always wins. That's why I always pick her team.
You know what? You put a valiant effort the second time. Can't really give it to you the first time. Sorry.
Awful.
Sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm just not quick on my feet like that.
It's
So,
all right. See, you just got to
won
practice.
both rounds. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate that. Getting my win score up. I know we talked about it offline. I'll give you the $5 later. So, Alex, it's time for your corner. Do you have anything else you'd like to share, especially a book, resource, quote, or saying that you think somebody should know to help them on their dream chase?
I have a saying, and it is that I believe that there is no such thing as a failed experiment. There is only feedback. If you are like me and Aimee, and you're going to chase your dreams, there will be a lot of failure. There will be immense amount of failure sometimes, and you will feel like giving up. What distinguishes the people who you admire, you want to role model, who you want to be like or become, they have faced the same amount of failure, if not more, probably more than you. And in order to get past failure, you have to look at it like an experiment. Thomas Edison didn't create the light bulb with one attempt. He wasn't just like, oh, dang, look at this light bulb. I just put some things together. Look at it. It's beautiful. He suffered long hours before creating such a magnificent creation. And if you want to do the same, you're going to have lots of failures. What separates the people is how they face the failure. If they face it as a defeat, then it will keep people in mediocrity. But if you face it as something, as a learning experience, as to say to yourself, what can I learn from this and how can I improve my future experiments, then you progress through this journey that we call success. And I don't want you ever to think, coming away from something like this, that the future is a bright tomorrow and there will be no failure. There will only be wins. There will be lots of struggles. And the way to get through that, honestly, in my opinion, is to have solid habits, healthy habits that push you forward, that make you say, okay, I failed today, but how can I take this and move on? That, my friend, is the secret to success.
I love it. An Alex original, guys. And on point. So I do appreciate that. Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your story and, providing some great thoughts that hopefully will encourage some other dream chasers in their journey.
Thank you for having me on, Aimee. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate it. All right, guys, till next time, keep chasing. That was Alex Barker of the 66-Day Experiment. And you guys can check out his website and all the notes from this show at chasingdreamshq.com/episode 12. That's episode 12. Guys, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done, all the support you've been giving Chasing Dreams, myself, and all the dream chasers out there. It means a lot, especially to all those people who have written in, subscribed, rated, or reviewed iTunes. Appreciate it, mostly because thanks to you guys, we hit #1 on New and Noteworthy on October 13th, 2015. And that blew my mind. And that's under personal journals. And we're in 2 other categories, business and society and culture. But the fact that we hit #1 in any category is mind-blowing to me. And is no doubt in my mind that it's because of you. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, and review. Leave an honest review. I'm always trying to improve things here, and we're still growing and learning and finding our place in the world. So let me know. Honest feedback is always welcome. Or hit me up on social media, and you guys will find out what that is in a minute. So till next time, guys, keep chasing.
Thank you so much for listening to Chasing Dreams. Aimee would love to connect with you and hear all about your pursuit of chasing your dreams. Connect with Aimee on Twitter at Aimee J21. That's AIMEEJ21. Or leave a comment on her website, chasingdreamshq.com. We hope you'll join Aimee next week, and until then, keep chasing.